Hey Cancer, thanks for visiting. This is your reading for August the 19th to August the 25th. And as I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to, only if you'd like to. And yeah, I'll start your reading right now. So, the first card you have for your past is the Seven of Wands. So obviously this man's really stressed, he's fighting things off, he's, he looks really exhausted, stressed, worried, all of that kind of thing. He's got a lot to cope with. So I think you are very stressed at this time, and I think you're really worrying about how you're going to get through something. I think there was something that seemed to sort of just fall on top of your head all of a sudden, some big responsibility. And yeah, there was a lot of worry about this. You were worrying about how you're going to cope with this. You had a lot of other things to cope with as well, and you're really, really worried about this. And I think you might have also been struggling with some people who really didn't understand everything you were going to, especially one person. I think their life's very different from yours, whoever this person is. You're one way and their life's gone another way, and they've had quite an easy life, I think, in comparison to your life actually. And they just don't understand, or they didn't understand, everything that you were going through, because I think they've had a lot of easy breaks, they've sailed through a lot of things, and it doesn't mean you were jealous of them. You weren't like that. I'm not getting that from you, but it's just frustrating that you were trying to go through everything you had to go through. And I think this person was giving you silly explanations like, oh, don't worry, just go into your savings if you don't have enough money, and you'll be able to pay for a car, or something ridiculous like that. And you're like, well, I don't have, it might not be money, it could be any situation that they just have this unrealistic view of, that, oh, it's okay, this is fine. So I think you were struggling with that as well. You just couldn't really communicate with this person about this properly. And, I think you're right. I think you're right not to share what's happening in your life, especially with this person. And they might even be a bit dismissive of what you're going through, and you don't need that. You really don't, especially when you're stressed and you're going through a lot of things. You probably went through a lot of emotional things as well. I think you might still be. And I'm seeing health problems as well. So you're really getting battered all over, health problems, emotional problems, responsibilities. So really you've got everything on top of your head. It's a lot. And there's no way this person would understand what you're going through. I think there's this difficult person. Again, I think they're a family member. And I'm also seeing this other person next to them. And this other person might be a lot more sympathetic. They might be a lot more kinder, or a lot kinder, not a lot more kinder, a lot kinder to you. But I think you might be struggling, or you might have been struggling to get to that kinder, more sympathetic person, because they always had this other person around them. They might be a married couple, they might just be family members that live together and they're kind of all around each other all the time. It might be some other reason why they're always together. But I think you wanted to kind of offload and talk to this more sympathetic person, but you couldn't because this other person was around them. So yeah, I think if you're still going through this, I think if you can't get this sympathetic person to be by themselves, and if you've tried that and it hasn't worked, you might just have to kind of offload to someone else, because I really don't think you want to let this more opinionated, difficult person know what you're going through, because I think it would harm you emotionally. I think they'd be quite rude, they might be quite rough around this. They're not sympathetic at all. So, when you're in this fragile state, if you're still in that, don't open up to any of these difficult people. It's just going to be worse for you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Yeah, I know that's a bit complicated. So there's a lot of I'm getting this feeling of a lot of heavy, complicated things around this reading. So it might turn out to be like that, I think. So yeah, the next card you have your past is the Knight of Swords. Yes. Yeah, I actually don't think this unsympathetic person, this difficult person, I don't think they dislike you. It probably feels that way because of the way they speak to you. But I just think they don't see things from other people's perspectives. They just see things from their own. They don't understand other people's things and what they're going through. Um, I actually think they might love you. They care about you, and that makes sense if they're a family member. Um, you know, if you look at this horse, there's a tiny heart just behind his eye. So, you know, even though the delivery might not be great, they might be quite rude and horrible to you, I think they mean well. You know, they might be giving out ridiculous advice, like, oh, just do this, it's easy, it was easy. Maybe if they're older, they might say, oh, in my day, it was really easy, you just did that and that. And you live in a completely different world to them, and they don't understand that. So they're very dismissive, but I don't think they mean to harm you. That's what I'm seeing. They love you. That's what I'm seeing, that horse. Yeah, so the other big thing I'm seeing in this card is fear. And, you know, if you look at the horse's face, look at how scared it is. That's, you know, fear, huge amount of fear. I'm seeing fear on two sides here, two sides of fear. And I think this is a love situation. Yeah, it is. So I actually think someone would like to be a lot closer than you, or to you, than they actually are, I should say. But yeah, there's this fear. There's fear around this. They're fearing this. Yeah, you used to be close to this person. I'm seeing that. I think you also used to be close to their family. There's one family member of theirs in particular who I think you are very, very close to. And yeah, this is someone who you separated from in the past. And I think when you separated, things might have gotten a little bit awkward around this family member of theirs. I think you wanted to be close to them, but it was a little bit awkward because you'd separated. That's what I'm seeing. So there was that kind of awkwardness. Yeah, so I think this person's afraid. I think they're afraid that they're going to open up a whole lot of hurt again, difficult things. It's all going to be very difficult and complicated if they come near you again. You know, because for them and for you, I think they feel as if they might hurt you, and they've already hurt you, I think. So they don't want to kind of open up all these old wounds again. Okay, so yeah, I hope this is going to make sense. But I think to them it sort of feels like an onion, if that makes sense. Peeling an onion. That's what I'm seeing, peeling an onion. You know, you try to deal with one layer, and then there's another layer, and then there's another one. And you know, you keep on peeling the layers, and the situation's just so deep and so complicated, so much has happened. There are just all these very, very difficult layers. That's what I'm seeing. And so they have to get through all of that to kind of get to you, if that's what they really want, because then there's more layers on top of that as well. That's how they're feeling. And of course, when you're peeling an onion, you start crying. It's very emotional. So they feel very emotional about this, and they're worrying about opening up these emotions again. So yeah, I think this is just really big. It's so big in their mind, and they just don't know where to start. And you know, they're really afraid. That's what I'm getting. The one thing I do know is they've definitely been thinking about you, but there's nothing at all simple about this. It's extremely complicated, and that's what their problem is, just all these complicated layers. So that's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the last card you have, you passed, is the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is the opposite. This Knight's the complete opposite of the Knight of Swords. But yeah, I think you've had other opportunities in love, opportunities around you, people coming to you and things, but maybe they felt as if, to you, they felt a bit like this Knight, a little bit stagnant, no real spark maybe. Maybe you felt as if this wasn't going to go anywhere a few times and all of that. You know, and I think you might have been thinking something like, you know, why does everyone I'm attracted to come with so many complicated problems all the time? Why can't it just be simple? And why am I attracted to these people? And why aren't I attracted to the people who are more like the Knight of Pentacles, who kind of sit there and they're very stable and they're very calm? Why aren't I attracted to them? So you might be having this kind of difficulty going on in your head. You know, I just think, and you know, I've been with someone like that before, who's very, very passionate, up and down, and you kind of crave that. You don't like that kind of boring sounding stableness. That's just me, maybe. I don't know, probably is just me. But yeah, you know, if you're with someone who's really, really intense, you know, it does come with a lot of passion, and also comes with a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes that can be really exhilarating. It can be a bit like being on a roller coaster, going up and down and up and down. You think, no, I want to get off this, I don't like this, I don't like the bad bits. but then you get off and then you think, well, that's a bit boring. So that's what I'm seeing there. Now, yeah, and you have been thinking about them as well. I'm seeing that as well. You have been thinking about them. You've been thinking about where they are, how they're feeling, all of that. I don't think you've obsessively been thinking about them or anything, but yeah, I think you really just have to think about whether you want to go back to all of these problems and this roller coaster, or whether you truly want to move forward from all of this. You've got to kind of come to this crossroads and say, which way do I want to go? And yeah, it's difficult because I think they've been thinking about you as well. So I don't know, you might have been feeling this around your energy as well. But yeah, they've also been thinking about all these big, huge roadblocks that might be in front of them if they try to connect again. And I know this all probably sounds very confusing, but it is confusing. Yeah, I'm seeing a really complicated situation here, and it's playing out not physically, but in your mind and in their minds as well. It's very, very, very complicated. I don't know if any of that made sense to you at all, but it's very complicated, and I was trying to kind of articulate what I was seeing. So okay, I'll move on to the next, which is the Six of Swords, which is in your presence. So yeah, again, emotions, complicated feelings. The biggest feeling I'm getting so far all over this reading is fear. So, and you know, you've moved on up to a certain point, you know, you have, but you still have some feelings that are kind of left hanging around you. You know, the woman in this boat, she's obviously moving on, she's moving away from these choppy waters, from these ups and downs. You know, but she's bringing a lot of these old feelings with her. You know, that all these swords are kind of sitting in front of her, and you know, she's heading toward a calmer place. Excuse me, calmer seas, better things and all of that. But you know, she can't see exactly where she's going. She can't see that there are these better things ahead of her properly. She can a little bit, but her view's partly obscured because all these swords are kind of right in front of her. So she's like she'd have to kind of put her head around to one side and say, oh, let me see through these swords. I can't quite see where I'm going, you know. So what happens is, if anyone new comes in front of you, like I was seeing in the Knight of Pentacles, if anyone new comes up in front of you, says, here I am, I want to go out with you, I'm interested in you, you can't see them properly because you're seeing them through these feelings, through this hurt, through these swords. So the way you're seeing these new people is obscured because of these old feelings. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So I think what eventually is going to happen is, you're going to just have to work through this. I think eventually these swords will come down, or you're going to have to resolve things with this person in the Knight of Swords. It's going to have to be one thing or the other thing. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Moon. Yeah, I think you're probably keeping a lot of these feelings to yourself. You're having a lot of these very difficult feelings, a lot of problems, a lot of stress. You're keeping a lot of this to yourself, hidden inside yourself. Again, I'm seeing some health problems as well, leading to tiredness. I'm not seeing a lot of opportunity for you to be able to rest at this time, not now anyway, but I think you will be able to soon. You know, I'm seeing a burden here, but it's going to ease off soon. There's some kind of work project. You're nearly at the end of whatever this is, I think. And I think you're probably working with other people on this. You know, I think you might, because I'm seeing some people having a little bit of an argument actually, or a bit of a debate. And it might be about their roles. I think someone wants a bigger role than they have, or a bigger say in something, and they want to be recognised or something like that. But yeah, you're just going to keep out of this drama. You know, you just want to see this thing finished and over and done with, and you don't have any energy for any drama. You really, really don't. But yeah, you'll come out of this, you'll finish this project, to be over and done with, and then at least you're going to have some space in your head. Some of this stress is going to be eased for you, and then you're going to be able to think about this crossroads, where you want to go, working through all these old feelings. So you'll finally have a little bit of space after this is finished. So the last card you have your presence, the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, again, this card can be about working, having to work with other people, sometimes having to work with people who you'd rather not work with, which is a lot of the time. Yeah, I think one of these people might be trying to big themselves up. You know, if you look at this card, one of these people's up higher than the other people, I'm trying to say. look at this platform. One of them's up on a platform and the other two are down lower. So, you know, it doesn't always mean that. It can mean a lot of different things, but that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of following on from what I was seeing in the moon card. And I'll just put that down again because, okay, so, all right, so there's that. And yeah, they're picking themselves up. You know, I think they want recognition. They want other people to recognize them. So it might be, I want my name on this project to say that I've done this, or if it's something written, a report, they want to say by whatever this person is, I was the leader of the team. It's something like that. They want this recognition. And you're just like, I don't care about recognition. I just want it over and done with. That's what I'm seeing that you're like. But yeah, you're staying out of all of this. You're just going to let these two people argue about this. You know, on the moon card, there's this dog and this wolf and they're arguing. They look like they're arguing to me, so that's what I'm seeing there. But you're keeping out of that. You're doing the right thing. You're just minding your own business. You just need peace around you. That's what you need. So that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so the other thing I'm seeing in this is about money, obviously. So just see if you can go through any old papers, anything that's being left in an envelope or something like that. I'm just seeing something, it's probably money. I don't mean that you've literally left some money in an envelope. It's either money that's owed to you, or you need to go and collect something. There's some kind of a receipt or some kind of document or something. Now, it's quite old. It's something you haven't done things with, or you haven't done anything about this. It's like, you know, you forgot to do something about this a long time ago. So if that makes any sense to you, go through some old papers that you have. I think they're in a room somewhere, in a drawer, filing cabinet, something like that. There might be some money that you need to collect. Something's yours and you haven't collected it. Especially look around in an envelope, or around an envelope, something like that, or inside one. It's something like that. So have a think about that. Go and look for this thing. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Nine of Cups. This can be a really positive card. It can be both. It can be positive, or it could be about someone who's a bit smug. But I think this is positive for you. I think this is about contentment. And I think this is a bit of a turning point coming up for you in this card. This is the turning point. So you're still going to be alone for a while, like this man. That's if you're single, obviously. And I think you're still going to be keeping a lot of feelings to yourself. It is good for you to offload to someone. So if you can do that, please do that. But I think it's a good thing, actually, because I think all these feelings and all these things, I think you need to work through them on your own, really. And you know, whether this person comes back, this ex, whoever this is, or whether you find someone else, or whether you just decide to be single, all of those options are absolutely fine. You'll be feeling a lot more confident and a lot calmer once you've worked through all of these things properly. So whichever decision you make, whichever thing you're facing, you're going to feel better about that when you've been through this process. So what am I saying project for? I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I'm saying that. So yeah, you're going to get this headspace. You're going to have this time to yourself, like this man. He's just sitting there. He's not doing anything. He doesn't have anything to worry about. He's quite kind of fat. He's content. He's sitting there. I've got everything. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm not saying you're not going to have anything to worry about, but you are going to be more content. This is this turning point. So yeah, after this work thing's over, I'm seeing in the moon card, you're going to have that bit of space, that time to yourself again, and you're going to be able to sit down, work through this, get yourself strong again. I'm actually seeing you might be going out and maybe even spending some time in nature. It might just be in someone's garden. It might be in a small garden. It might even be a balcony with plants. It could be anything. It's some kind of nature. So, you know, I hope you are going to do that, because a change of scene, natural scenery, anything that's natural can be a little bit like meditation sometimes. Even if you're not meditating, that's why I like plants, flowers, things like that. They can kind of put you into a bit of a meditative state. They're very relaxing, very soothing. So yeah, that's why I like flowers. But I hope you are going to do this. I really do, because it'll be a big turning point for you, especially internally. So the next card you have, your future, is the King of Swords. Okay, so this is showing me that, again, you're not going to be interested in love for a while, especially not new love. You'll be guarding against that. You'll be protecting yourself like this king. I'm sorry, people in relationships. I just keep on seeing someone who's single here. So, you know, and this card's about clarity, getting clarity. So that's what's going to be happening inside your mind. You're getting this space in your head. And yeah, I think you're going to be feeling so much stronger now when you come out of this. You know, your goals are going to be very clear as well in front of your mind, which is a good thing. The other thing I think is, you know, if you're single, again, I think, you know, you might not be battling, but you might be guarding yourself against some people who, I'm seeing family again, they might want to get you to go out and date people, and they might be saying to you, oh, go and date some people, you should be seeing some people, you should be going out, dating more, find someone else, la 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 la, all of that kind of thing. And I think you're going to be resisting that because you're just not ready for that. You need to process all of this first. You need to get stronger before you're even ready to think about any of that. And you know that, I think. So I'm actually seeing a family get together or some kind of an event. Sometimes the Nine of Cups can be about that with this table and these cups. And what I'm actually seeing is I'm literally seeing you sitting around a table. You're sitting there alone. You'll be there alone. And there might be other couples there in this family saying, oh, we're all couples, we're all fine, what about you? All of that kind of thing. And it's going to come up. So don't feel as if you have to justify yourself if this happens. You know, if people say, why aren't you with anyone? Why aren't you dating anyone? La 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 la, you should be over that old person by now. Just keep on repeating yourself as if they're children. Just keep on saying things like, oh, I'm fine at the moment, everything's fine. It's fine, I'm fine. I'm okay. You know, you might just have to repeat yourself. It is annoying, I know, it is annoying when people think they know what's best for you, but you know what's best for you. So keep that in mind. Don't justify yourself to these people. You're going to be fine. It's not that bad. It's just annoying. So the last card you have, your futures, the Eight of Wands. Okay, so it is a little bit more than annoying. I hate to see this, but it's not that bad. You can cope with this. These are questions. I'm seeing family again, probably at this thing again, same thing. They're going to be firing questions toward you. It's going to feel like that, that these questions are being fired at you, because that's what it looks like. Look at these wands. They look like arrows, and they're being fired at you. Why aren't you doing this? Oh, I know someone you might like. What about this person? And you just, no, 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 just leave me alone. And you know, just, it's not that bad. I mean, they're not swords. They're not swords. They're wands. So you can cope with this. It is annoying, but you can cope. But yeah, in this whole reading, this is what I'm seeing. Just to sum up everything here, you're going to work through this all by yourself. Now, eventually you're going to be feeling a lot stronger. Now, I wish I could tell you whether this person's coming back or not, this ex. I can't see that. I can't see that for you right now. If I could see that, I would say. But what I can see is they're thinking about you. They probably still are right now. They're stressed about all the surrounding problems that have happened, and the problems might come to them if they start to come toward you again. But whatever happens, you're going to be feeling a lot stronger soon, and a lot more content, and a lot more relaxed. And you're going to be sleeping a lot better. I'm seeing that as well. So whatever happens, whether they come back, whether they don't, whatever, you're going to be in a much better state of mind to be able to cope with whatever comes. That's what I'm seeing. So Cancer, I hope this resonated. General readings can't always resonate with everyone, as you know, but again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. Thank you so much for watching.